Viewers, it's a story that has been buried by the ecosystem. The Calcutta High Court's probe panel report on the Murshidabad violence has ripped apart the carefully crafted narrative of West Bengal's ruling TMC and its apologists, exposing a chilling truth. The violence last month was a meticulously planned assault on Hindus, orchestrated with the complicity of TMC leaders, viewers, and enabled by a shockingly inactive police force. The report says this. This is not just a failure of governance, it's a betrayal of humanity, cloaked in denial by an ecosystem that refuses to see the targeted persecution of Hindus from Pahalgam to Murshidabad. It is important to put this in context. Viewers, the report is a damning indictment. It details how Hindu homes were marked and systematically torched under direction of TMC councillor one Mehboob Alam. Water supplies were deliberately cut off. Water tanks were destroyed to ensure that fires could not be extinguished. Clothes were burnt. Can you believe it? All the clothes were burnt, leaving Hindu women without even a shed to cover themselves. A calculated act of humiliation. Temples, sacred symbols of faith were vandalized. The violence that claimed 3 lives, including a father-son duo, brutally killed, forced over 400 Hindus to flee to Malda, seeking refuge in schools. Yet the West Bengal police, the state police, stationed just 300 meters away, remained inactive and absent, viewers, complicit in their silence as homes burned and lives were shattered. Viewers, Mamata Banerjee's claim of, outsiders orchestrating the violence lies in tatters. It has crumbled. The outsider theory has crumbled. The High Court's findings expose her narrative as a lie, with local TMC leaders, not foreign conspirators, leading the charge. This was not a spontaneous clash, viewers. It was a premeditated pogrom targeting Hindus for their faith, fueled by the protest over Waqf. The ecosystem predictably downplayed and ignored these atrocities. They were quick to dismiss them as, communal clashes, or they pinned blame on external forces, outsiders. Let's ask them tonight, why no outrage for Murshidabad? Where are the candlelight vigils, the tearful social media posts, placards, etc., etc., viewers? This selective silence is no accident. From Pahalgam, where more than 20 people were massacred for their faith, to Murshidabad's targeted arson, the pattern is clear. Hindu suffering is inconvenient to the narrative of this ecosystem. Viewers, the ecosystem's denial is not just about ignoring facts. It's about protecting a worldview that refuses to admit the targeted persecution of Hindus, where Hindu pain is dismissed to preserve a narrative of selective secularism. That is what it is.
ये भी बात साफ आई कि चेहरा छुपाकर लोग सुनियोजित ढंग से हिंसा करने के लिए आए थे। एक बात बहुत स्पष्ट हो गई है कि हिंसा का प्रकार चाहे कोई भी हो, राजनीति का प्रकार चाहे कोई भी हो, वार सिर्फ और सिर्फ हिंदू समुदाय के ऊपर है। अगर पहलगाम में चुन चुन कर हिंदुओं को मारा गया, तो मुर्शिदाबाद में चुन चुनकर हिंदुओं के घर, मकान और लोगों को मारने का प्रयास किया गया।
আপনি বাংলাদেশের পরিস্থিতি জানেন না? বেঙ্গল ইজ দ্য বর্ডার অফ বাংলাদেশ, নেপাল, ভুটান, শ্রীলঙ্কা। আপনি ইউনুসের সাথে গোপন মিটিং করুন, চুক্তি করুন, দেশের ভালো হলে খুশি হব। কিন্তু আপনার প্ল্যানটা কি? আপনাদের প্ল্যানিংটা কি? কালকে আমি একটা এএনআই টুইট দেখলাম, হোম মিনিস্ট্রি সোর্সকে কোট করে বলেছে এইরকম করেই ওরা দেয়। তাকে আমি দোষ দিচ্ছি না, इसमें बांग्लादेश का हाथ है। अगर हाथ है तो इसको जमींदारी तो सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट का है कि बीएसएफ बॉर्डर संभालते हैं, हम नहीं संभालते हैं।
वॉकअप बिल के ऊपर जो एजिटेशन था उसको फायदा उठा के वो बाहर से कंस्पिरेसी था, बाहर से बॉर्डर के उस पार से ये एलिगेशन आ रहा है, हमने प्रूफ डिमांड किया है, आकर वो हिंसा वो गोलमाल बना दिया बंगाल को डिफेम करने के लिए। यही तो हम लोग कहना चाहते हैं।
What will these individuals say tonight? Guru Prakash Ishtaran, Karan Verma, Professor Monojit Mondal, Ravi Srivastav, Nikhil Jain. Mr. Mondal will be joining us shortly. But Karan, look at what the report is saying. Everything is now in black and white. This Sabut gang, you know, this ecosystem that needs a Sabut for everything. The Sabut is staring at their faces.
And it was staring all along, Pranesh. I mean, we had heard such gut-wrenching cries from Murshidabad at that point of time. And after, I think it was 11th of April, when on the Friday afternoon, where absolute pandemonium reeked the streets, and it was a grim reminder of the direct action day that happened in 1946. Water supply being cut off, Hindus being singled out. It was as close as it gets to the Ralif Galif Salif moment that happened in 1990 in Kashmir. And Pranesh, truth be told, how many times does the High Court have to rap them on the knuckles? Today it has named Mamata Banerjee's counsellor. She has been rapped on the knuckles after the post-poll violence, after the Ram Navami incident. Justice Pardiwala in the case of RG Kaur said that I've never seen something like this in 36 years. Today, Mamata government has become so brazen, so shameless, that even rapping them on the knuckles by a court, they pretty much laugh it off. What did Sagrika Ghosh say at that point of time? That it's maybe the Biharis who've come in. She castigated the Biharis. What did Mahua Moitra say at that point of time? Barely had the ink run dry on the Waqf Amendment Bill, and she said, oh, this is going to have the Muslims rise up against the state. This kind of language, where you pretty much mollycoddled with the extremists, led to this kind of communal badgering that has happened.
It's all there in the report prepared not by the BJP. The panel appointed by the High Court, Professor Mondal is with us. Professor Mondal, what would you say? The outsider theory that has crumbled, sir. अब क्या बोलेंगे? कहाँ से आए थे लोग? TMC leaders are named in this report.
Who has made this report? It is being led by the Human Rights Commission chief or some legal officer for Human Rights Commission, right? We don't give much credit to this report. The police have taken action within 24 hours. 180 people were arrested. Yes, there were some incidents of violence. Nobody is denying that. But how long will you continue politicizing that?
Professor Mondal, this was not ordinary violence. 1 minute. Hindu homes were targeted, sir. Hindu temples were attacked, destroyed, vandalized, what have you. Women, Hindu women were left without clothes. Clothes were burned. Can you imagine the depravity, viewers? Clothes were burned so that Hindu women are left without any shred of fabric, cloth. Professor Mondal, it's all part of the report.
27 people are 27 Hindus at Bush. Who is making this report? That's what I'm saying. This report is made by fact-finding committee appointed by the High Court, led by the Human Rights Commission, which is BJP's Human Rights Commission.
Oh, so High Court is BJP. High Court is also BJP. Professor Mondal, High Court is also BJP. You want one UN fact-finding mission to come here and give you a report? You believe in United Nations, not High Court. How dare you say that? Who's written the report? Who's done the report? I mean, you know, sir, we must draw a line. At least have some conscience. Introspect, Professor Mondal. How can you dismiss this report? Ishtaran?
Pranesh, let us be very clear. It is contemptuous to say that a fact-finding committee of the Honorable High Court is BJP-led committee. The committees are made by any Honorable High Court of neutral people who are subject matter experts, who can go into the issue and give a neutral report, whatever be the facts. If the facts are damning, then do not blame a political party for it. That is contemptuous. Now let us be very clear. I will just read one part of a testimony as being quoted by media. Local councillor, namely Mehboob Alam, came with miscreants on 11th April. MLA is also present on Friday. He saw the vandalism, went away. Violence continued on 12th April 2025 Saturday. A man named Amirul Islam came back to villages, saw which houses were not attacked. Then the miscreants came and set fire to those houses. Houses not attacked, they pick, they choose, they come back. This is coming out after a report of a committee appointed by High Court, and you are still doing the usual politics, BJP. It is a massive failure of law and order. Have some shame to admit that you miserably failed to protect the citizens of this country and the residents of your state. Stop casting aspersions
on the
Honorable High Court Appointed Committee.
Ravi Srivastava, no eyes on Murshidabad, sir. No tears for Murshidabad.
Pranesh, this is the report. And report does not prove that somebody is guilty or somebody is innocent. The report has not named the MLA. You are showing the picture of the MLA also. They have only named the councillor, that is Mehboob Alam. Another thing is that all these facts which are mentioned by the committee are to be corroborated. All the hate speeches,
Ravi Srivastava, you are calling it a fact and then you need corroboration. Sir, make up your mind. Abhi aap bol rahe, all these facts need to be corroborated. Sir, kya bol rahe hain aap? And you know, you are saying reports have no purpose. Pahalgam nahi maan rahe. You are saying, you know, reports se kya hota hai? The dead bodies in Pahalgam, even they could not, you know, silence the doubters. Wo bol rahe hain, kya hua yahan pe? Security labs, intel failure, they refuse to call it terror in Pahalgam. और इसको परसिक्यूशन बोलने से मना कर रहे हैं मुर्शिदाबाद में. निखिल, will you defend this?
No, Pranesh, I'm not going to defend any instances of violence against people on the grounds of religion, any instances of violence against women, any complicity of any government or any political party in perpetrating such violence, which is why I condemn when Kapil Mishra was involved in the 2020 Delhi riots, which is why I'm going to condemn
balancing here. Nikhil Jain, don't do this monkey balancing here. No. Don't try this stunt. Let's talk about Murshidabad. Let's talk about Murshidabad. Nikhil Jain, don't run away from Murshidabad and tell some of your leaders that you are in touch with to go visit Murshidabad. You know, there is this ecosystem that plans such trips. Vulture tourism, I call it. They should go to Murshidabad. Perhaps they should carry the bag. All eyes on Murshidabad. Guru Prakash, you see, they are trivializing this. They are in denial. They say, ये तो BJP का report है.
No, Pranesh, I think you have rightly pointed out, and Professor Mandal said that this committee is led by BJP. This committee, as it has been repeated, it was made as per complying with the directions of the Honorable High Court of Calcutta. Are you suggesting that the Honorable High Court of Calcutta is compromised? Can you put it on record on Pranesh's show tonight? You cannot, because you're a hypocrite. You cannot do that. The committee was led by very able officers. I cannot speak on behalf of them. But the observations of the committee we must understand. And let me read you from the committee. Local MLA supervised the vandalism. Who is this local MLA? It is a TMC MLA. Will you answer for that? Local TMC councillor personally ensured that houses were burned. He came, he identified, and he burned the houses of Hindus. He burned the houses of Dalits. दलित महिलाओं पे, दलित समाज पे हिंसा करना है, दलित महिलाओं का रेप करना है, अत्याचार करना है. Pranesh, this is a textbook case. This is a textbook modus operandi of Trinamool Congress. We all very well remember, we will never forget May 2nd, 2021. The Supreme Lady said, Khela Hobe. What was Khela Hobe? The Khela Hobe was unleashing the taণ্ডava of violence on the streets of West Bengal. Pranesh, we very well remember, people had to flee to Assam. आसाम जाना पड़ा था दलित समाज के लोगों को, आदिवासी समाज की महिलाओं को, क्योंकि आप संभालने में सक्षम नहीं थे. Police and administration did absolutely nothing. Who is accountable, Pranesh?
You know, I was hoping that Nikhil Jain will rise above politics and condemn Professor Mondal when he, takes on the court. What are you showing? What is that? Nikhil, you do these things to attract my attention. Ab kya hai? What is that? What have you written?
Hard of hearing? Are you hard of hearing?
I am hard of hearing half-truths. I am hard of hearing selective facts. I am hard of hearing, 1 minute. I am hard of hearing, 1 minute, propaganda. You got your answer, Nikhil Jain? Did you get your answer?
But you are not willing to listen. Are you a BJP spokesperson or an anchor? For heaven's sake, will you listen? When you get
I am not here to I am not here to allow you to do this monkey balancing, Nikhil, and don't lose your cool so easily, Nikhil. Nikhil, you are young, don't do this. Take care of your health, relax, and don't throw papers like this. Don't learn from, don't learn the bad manners that you see in parliament by some of the Congress leaders. Don't do this, Nikhil, please. You have a lot of things to do and achieve. Don't do it. I'm telling you, it's for your own good, Nikhil. Don't do these things, please. When you can argue so well, you don't have to resort to this theatrics. And here's some breaking news coming in. Just sample this. This is dangerous. We were talking about the Sabut gang, people who doubt our forces. Look what has happened. On a day when our security forces launched an operation on Red Terror, the CPI, the Communist Party of India, is calling it extrajudicial killing of Maoist leader and Adivasis in Chhattisgarh. This is the statement. They have released a statement. Why was a legal arrest not pursued? Why was due process guaranteed by the constitution so blatantly ignored? So the CPI argues, while the Maoists are firing at our forces, we should take the bullet, die in the line of duty, but make all efforts to arrest them. This is dangerous, viewers. We must call this out. Quick comments. Taran, how do you see this? Quickly.
So, Pranesh, they've always been these Maoist sympathizers standing up for these people who perpetrate crime mercilessly, and they show their true colors every single time a proceeding like this has happened. And I'm glad that we have a Home Minister today who is absolutely determined to obliterate this red corridor and has almost gotten rid of it. Whatever the last remnants be, India's resolve must be praised here. We are all set to obliterate this, just as we obliterated stone pelting.
A crackdown on terrorists is called extrajudicial killing. Does this ring a bell, Ishtaran? When did you hear this last? Remember Afzal Guru? Yaqub Memon?
No, Pranesh. Yes, Pranesh, remember the headline in Yaqub Menon's case. It's a very big infrastructure. The Home Minister deserves all the compliments for going after these Naxalites who are doing violence. But also, what about people who write headlines like, they hanged Yaqub Menon? Who is they? Pakistan is the Indian government, Indian judicial system, Indian president. Pakistan, an outsider that you use the word they, othering the Indian state to say they hanged Yaqub Menon. So that is documented what all has happened in this country. So I am not surprised that operations against Naxalites are being called as extrajudicial killings, or
and now that this statement has come, we must identify the people behind this. They are nothing but terrorist sympathizers. That's the word for them. They can take me to court for this. This is nothing but a handiwork of a terror sympathizers. Terrorists have no human rights. When they fire at our forces are not there to die. I leave it at that, viewers. This will come up at 9:30 on the News Hour with Navita Kumar.